Some of you may or may not know already that I have a marketing agency. There it is. And in today's video, I have been asked to do an audit of a website. The website in question is none other than this. Peregrina Plumbing Company Incorporated. Now, this is quite an interesting website because there's some things that are pretty good and there's some things that I would definitely optimize. So right off the bat, you can see that they've got a little bit of UX UI design thinking here. They've got call to action buttons. They've got a simple H1. Although I would say that this H1 is not necessarily optimized for SEO. However, you can see pretty quickly by their long list, I'm pretty sure that goes off the page, their long list of services that they are potentially optimized for SEO. Now, if you don't already know how you set up a website for SEO, this is one of the ways that you can do it. So I guarantee if we click on a random one here, you will be able to see, yes, this is a proper SEO page. Hydrojetting in, location, fast, forceful solutions, etc., etc. You can see restore your Alexandria plumbing system. So it's very optimized here. Maybe even too much. That's one mistake people make, is that they overdo it on the keywords, and Google kind of knows what's up with it. You know, they got some pretty basic forms, but overall, without getting into too much detail, let's talk about it. They are missing some things that are super obvious right here on the hero section. And I don't want to just completely rip this website apart because I do think it's above average. Trust me, some of the things that we come across. But some of these things are really quick fixes that can change the game for a business if done correctly. So, some of those. This company's been around for a while. I mean, you can see the image in the background. You know, they've got nice branding, nice trucks. They've got branded tops on, right? First thing I would say is, what's with this low quality image? Like, you've got the branding. Get a high quality image. Like, how much is a professional photographer for an hour? Like 30, 50 bucks? It's nothing, you know? Maybe an hour of your time. Nothing. Because the first impression really matters on a website. Bam, you go on the homepage, there it is. You know, we form impressions about people, about businesses within the first few seconds. And the first thing I see here is a low quality image, right? Another thing that's really important for businesses like this is social proof. We want some good social equity here. What do I mean by that? Let's show you. These guys have a 4.9 rating on Google with 77 reviews. And this is the same company. I mean, when you click this, you go to their website. Like, what? And the reviews are pretty good. What's going on? Why can I not see that here? Okay. Now, here's one I made earlier. There you go. These guys only got 10 reviews. Actually, they've got more now. But 5 stars on Google. Right there. Instantly. We come on the website. You can see 5 stars. What that does is it instantly shows that you're a trusted brand, you're credible. Another thing you might want to consider doing on here is adding some trust badges. So I assume here in the footer you've got some kind of license, right? You could have a trust badge, licensed and insured. Even if you make it yourself, it goes a very long way. Whilst we're on the topic of reviews, I really love how we've got this review on top of the business owner, because it shows 5 stars for this guy, but it is pretty good. Now, if I was you, I'd have a bit of a personal note from the business owner here. I wouldn't have just a kind of a generic SEO copy here. I mean, it's clear, services in Alexandria. It's plastered all over this website. I'm actually not sure that websites with it plastered all over perform as good as you think they do on Google when it comes to SEO. But yeah, back to the review point, a Google badge goes a really long way because they let you do that and you can leverage Google's clout and credibility, because right now, all I see here, because obviously I did my own research to find this, all I see here is 5 stars. Not a credible review necessarily, just 5 literal stars. That could be fake. You'd be surprised how many people fake reviews on their websites, and some people are privy to it. So when it comes to social proof and credit, you know, you've got a little bit dotted around, but it could be pumped up. So speaking of reviews and utilizing the Google badge, as well as anything else that you're legally allowed to use on your website, see, 25 years in industry, super easy, super nice. Bam, reviews, Google review, 5 stars. You have the actual legitimate Google reviews here. Fantastic, right? You can see very nice and easy before and after pictures, beautifully mapped up. Now, the service area is fantastic, right? I'm just going to go to the service areas. Bam, look at that. Now, if this isn't SEO optimized, I don't know what is. But like I was saying before, it might be a bit too much to a point where Google kind of understands what's going on here. Google likes real organic content. So speaking of SEO, let's get into a little something. How is it actually performing? Now, I do just want to mention that these 2 websites are estimates. These are not actual real data, and we can't get the real data unless we plug into the website. However, they do a very good job. So we can see that the domain trust here and here is really low. So authority score and domain trust are the same thing. So we say here, apparently 17 clicks per month, and apparently here we've got 8 clicks per month. So you can see a big variance between the tools. That's what I mean by it's not 100% accurate. You got 272 keywords. That might seem like a lot, but it's really low. Backlinks 119, way too low. You want to be looking at 500 plus. So it's not all about the on-page SEO. There's a lot that happens off-page as well. You can see that they're getting a lot of traffic from the UK, Canada. So I don't know if that's just me, but the issue with getting traffic from outside your area is, what are you going to do with it? Are you going to go and you're going to fly to the UK to be a plumber? I don't think so. So kind of targeting a little bit sharper is worth it, or even having some kind of a plugin that excludes specific locations. You can see, at least according to this chart, they're not doing any paid traffic. That is a big L. And again, we come onto this one and there's no paid traffic, at least found here. They do have an upward growth on organic keywords though. That is fair enough. Although they've been going for much longer than 6 months now at the time of recording. So I would expect, if they've done all of that, that they'd be seeing a little bit more results by now. You can see what they're ranking for here. Some really high cost clicks there. And we come down here to the distribution of organic competitors. Now, at least this software has picked up this crazy long website. For anyone watching, a side note, don't make your URL massive. Really bad idea. Make it as short as possible. But for this crazy website and this website, you can see they're actually doing a lot better. So the reason I say, you know, it's a very big L that they're not capitalizing on Google ads is because, oh my gosh, a local service business like this, you should get on local service ads as soon as possible. And I will do a video on that in the future. But even Google ads, like just setting it up, letting it run a bit, get some testing done so you know what's going to work, how much you're going to need to spend. These are all very important metrics to have as a business, because a rainy day might come, you know? Yeah, you've been doing great on referrals, or maybe you've got a meta ad or something, but a rainy day might come. So you need to know what resources you have at your fingertips. So you can see here back on SEMrush, you've got a couple good ones going here. Nothing too crazy though. And it's counting 86% of your keywords as commercial, which is where you want to be honest, as a business making money. And here is the other chart. So this is a similar chart to the one on this website, but you can see that you guys are actually way down here compared to some of the other competitors. You know, you guys get some good backlinks is all I'm going to say, because sometimes when you have a cheap backlink, it is, you know, you can have a million cheap backlinks. It's not going to do you any favors. You have one good backlink, it's going to do you a million good favors. This one, for example, is terrible. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is Singapore, this little flag here. And I don't know what traffic from Singapore is going to do for you. If you've got this sitemap and none of your pages are indexed, then there's no point really having it, is there? There's no point even having the hundreds of SEO pages if Google can't even see them. So for those of you that don't understand what a sitemap is, it's kind of like this. You have a floor plan in a building, right? So you can imagine if you don't give this floor plan to whoever's going to be building it or whoever's going to be selling it. For example, you're going to be selling your property. You're going to give the floor plan to an agent. The agent's going to need to see that property to understand, okay, this is the bedroom, this is this, this is this. If they walk into the property and they've never seen it before, they're going to have a hard time selling it. Hopefully that makes sense, because it's the same with Google. If Google's not seen your sitemap, your floor plan, they're not going to know what's where and who to show what to and how they're going to promote you with SEO if you don't have your own floor plan. Or better put, if you don't give the floor plan to them. Anyway, moving on. How does the site perform? So you've got some good speed, really good in Germany. Based off this, I might assume that your hosting provider is in Germany. That's something that a lot of people don't understand. How does hosting work? But there's basically different types of hosting, some in one location, some in multiple locations. This looks like a one location somewhere in Europe. Because yeah, on the East Coast, you're struggling there. So for those of you that don't know, Alexandria is on the East Coast. So really, you'd want this to be their highest score, not their lowest score. And that's usually to do with your hosting. So coming down on this website, we've got a couple of good checks. Now, SEO, of course, is checking out all green. Performance, though, there's a lot of reds here. So really nice and easy website. This is completely free. Come in here, check it out, fix it. Simple. Okay, let's see what happens when you click get a quote. Bam, you get taken to another page, not recommended, and you've got a form. So this part is frictionless. However, it's not really a frictionless form at all. Now that, basically how that works is the more friction, the less leads you get. You want it so that people stumble across your website, just give you their details, and then bam, you contact them without having to put in a lot of effort. Also seems you don't have any terms and conditions here. I don't know what the laws are in your area, but at least where we're from and all of our clients, we have to have that legally. You have to explicitly say that you want to be contacted by the business. If you don't, it gets a little bit hairy. Overall though, the design's pretty nice. So what does a frictionless form look like? As you can see here, that's it, right? You only need the name and the phone number. You don't even need your email or how can we help you. You do have to click this little checkbox here. You want to know something cool? So when a lead fills out this form, the business owner gets a phone call from the system that we've built, and it tells him the lead's name, maybe the message that they've put, and if the business owner would like to connect the call directly to the lead. So by the time that they've filled out the form to the time that the business owner is calling them is under 60 seconds. Don't get it twisted, guys. We also do the SEO thing. And everything is conversion rate optimized, just like the hero section on the homepage, because at the end of the day, all we really care about is conversions. So in a later video, if you would like me to go through what local service ads is or any of the other concepts that I may have brushed over in this video, please leave a like or a comment about it. And if I didn't say already, my name is Josh at Luminex Studios, and I'll see you guys in the next video.